gas in it. Doesn't even smell terrible. This could have died for no output, and they got rid of it too, but we'll go try that out. Really decent one. It's got a oil filter on it, so it's a pressurized lube, I think. And it looks complete. I don't see anything missing off of it. Hey guys, and how's it going? So this is the generator that we grabbed off the side of the road during the fall cleanup. That and a bunch of other pieces of power equipment. I haven't looked at it. I figured it'd make for better video for us to try to explore and figure out what its issues are together and see if we could bring it back to life. 11 horse Generac, 5500 watt, no electric start. I don't know if that's a Honda motor or a knockoff. It says made in USA. I don't know about the engine though. I know sometimes they make their own for their standalone units for a house. That might be the case with that. Look, it's been out in the weather some. Do we see 220 on it anywhere? Yeah. So we got a 220 plug here. It has an idle circuit, which is nice. So when there's no power being drawn, it just goes down to an idle and then kicks back up again. All right, let's get you in a stand and we'll start poking around and see what we can find. The oil has a tendency of telling its life too, whether it was maintained or not. Well, I think I see a problem already. Yeah, we're gonna have to go set up a drain pan. Crankcase is over full. Crankcase is over full, probably because it's full of gasoline, because the carburetor failed. So let's get that drained down and be the first thing we fix. I took the wheel off and kind of slid it over to the side. Let's see how this works out for us. Yes, mighty thin gas, isn't it? So either they got it to run and it ran so poorly that it smoked because again the bottom of that crankcase is just totally filled up, or it didn't run. They put gas in it, the float was stuck in the on position. And then it filled it up later. Let's see if that's crud coming out of there. I don't think so. Got an oil filter on it too, so I'm gonna go pop that off and we'll let that drain. See, crack loose into there. There we go. I might have one of these in my stash. A friend of mine gave me a milk crate full of oil filters when he moved from all different stuff. But worst case, we're at least going to drain the gas out of it and fill it back up with oil if we don't. Let's let that pee for a while. See if you'll pull on that a couple of times and it'll chug any oil out. Feels hard to pull. Hopefully it's not hard to pull because it's burned up and it ran with that in there and it had no lubrication, but again, yeah, we're just guessing at the moment. And the winner for the short-term oil filter is Polaris. When the store's open, I'll have the old one and get a new one. I filled it with oil. Let's go see what the plug situation looks like and if we have spark. And I also want to shoot a little bit of oil down the cylinder while I have the plug out. There's a problem with gas in the oil. Is the gas does not work like oil. It's not a good lubricant. And a little carbony, but not bad. So let's go and backfeed some oil in it. And without the plug on it, it should spin fairly easy, although it does have the mass of the generator. Let's get ourselves set up for a run. We'll throw a plug in it. And we'll see if it has spark for us. When we get set up, we'll give her a shot. See if that works for us. Nice spark. Awesome. Well, I know it's got decent compression. I did not check. A lot of times I'll take some gas, I'll put it in the spark plug hole and I'll fire it over, and I'll just make sure that the generator puts power out. But we're going to go right into the car because we know it has a car problem with the float sticking. So I want to fix that because even if the generator part is no good, I'm going to want that 11 horse engine. So I figure we'll just keep moving forward, and if it makes power, great. If it doesn't, we'll try and fix it. And if it's too expensive to fix, we got ourselves a good 11 horse motor to put on something. You know what I mean? And somebody had already drained the oil on that once before because there was like vice grip marks on the drain plug. So somebody was in there before us. Come on. Where a magnet's your friend. Yeah, I think there'd be another one holding the plastic housing areas down there. I don't know if that choke's gonna get it. If that choke is tie wrapped on, there's a tie wrap up there. See it? We got, I missed one. One further up. There we go. Yeah, so somebody's been here before us with that tie wrap setup also. Let's see if we can, should be able to just pull that right off of there. Come on. Time for a screwdriver. What also could be a repair tag was attached there. I think that's more than likely the case. All right. Let's unplug. Can we work around that? I think so. Fuel is shut off. Let's put it this way, the valve is shut off. Whether the valve works or not, that would be another question. throttle. Can we spin that out of there? Looks like you got to twist it a certain direction, and it should be able to lift out. I'm not sure what direction that is. I would think full throttle here. There we go. And it looks like somebody thought the spring was messed up, but it's not. It looks like a piece of hair. That should allow us to get the whole assembly out. Let's go take it apart. Going in. Get a cup. I want to pour it in a cup. And there's your dinner. All right. Kind of mix of lovelies we get out of it. I see water already. That is half water. There's a big old snot down the center of it. You can see it. Yeah, see the old snot stain. Somebody needs a bath. Let's go take this thing apart. Give her a soaking. Yeah, in the cup you can kind of see it's mostly water. The top quarter-inch is gas, and you can see the line down below. Clean the cup out. Let's go take some more fuel out of it and see if the whole system is contaminated. I have a feeling what they did was left it sit with bad gas in it, and whatever was in the tank ran out and filled up the oil, and then they put new stuff on top. It doesn't look terrible. And then I went to go run it, and I wasn't going to run on water. It looks pretty good though. I don't see any water sitting in the bottom. I'm going to let that cup sit on the side for a little, see if anything settles out of it, but we have other stuff we can work on. Let's see if we get some other parts out of it. This should be a plug. You need to tap that pin out for the float. That's usually what fails right there. That'll get dirty. And sometimes a float will sink. I think that's okay. There we go, one jet coming in from the side. I think there's one external. Alright, you got one blocked off there. I'm going to leave them alone. I'm not going to put all those squelch plugs out. It's not terribly dirty neither. It's rare. It looks like this one just kind of filled up with water. It did most of its damage other than the sludge that's right there. I'm going to throw it in like that, let it get cleaned. See if I can pick that booger looking thing out of there first. I moved it. Piece of something. More of it right there. It's probably 15 minutes later, and there was no settling. Sometimes if it appears like you see the color of it, and it's a little cloudy, the water will be mixed up like in it. You let it set, and it'll make a little puddle down below. But I think we're okay. The other thing I kind of suspect too is the cracks that are in that gas cap. They will let fuel. They will let water in also. And these guys have not had a very good run. Can't even see that needle anyway, right? See if I could dig up a regular gas cap that'll fit on that. That's common. I see that a lot. It'll have a little vent hole in it somewhere. I think right there is the original little vent hole that bleeds through it. But it cracks and it goes down the side. Even if water kind of runs down and goes in the sides of it, it's cracked down below there. So instead of the water just kind of filling up and going over and off the edge, it goes right into the cap. See if we can get some of that to come out of there. I tilted the machine so that the lowest part is facing towards us. That actually... that might be straight water. It doesn't taste like gas. I'll let that do its thing. I got a 5-gallon jug. What I do is I fill that up. And we have recycling 4 times a year that you can get rid of old gas, and I just dumped it 2 days ago. So we're gonna do our best about filling it up really quick too. Again, that's starting to look like straight water and no fuel coming out of it. You know, I was confused on the first round. I don't know why I wouldn't run. It's like the second tray in, and now we're starting to get a mix. I'm gonna put a little air behind it in the tank to move things along. I'm just taking a rag, wrapping a rag around the air gun and with gas cap holders. So what I think they did, they left it out in the rain, and the level got up over that cap, and water was going right in it. That's just a ton of water. It's a ridiculous amount of water. You can see now that it's probably, if the camera's picking it up. %50 water. You can kind of tell it looks a little different when it runs out. It has a different kind of splash to it. The water's a little bit, you know, kind of like rolls up on the edge, where gas just seems like it lays more smooth. Yeah, if you look where, see where this oil is floating, how it's up like, again, about halfway in the pan. So the bottom half is water and the top half is gas now. But I'm gonna purge all of it out and then dry out the tank completely. You better look at that gas cap. You can see how the seal is gone. How it touches over here where it's supposed to, and then here it's not even in the realm of where it's supposed to be. So that's probably what happened. It was out in the rain, and the level got up over the cap, and it just allowed itself to fill up that cavity up there and fill up and over the top of it. And plus the cap being busted. Don't leave your stuff outside. It'll last longer. Hey, I got it all cleaned back up. Nothing fancy on this one. And no more boogers inside. That should help it. And again, the one last check I like to do is for the float, I'm going to blow in it with it upside down like this. No air can go through, flip it over. I can blow air into it. So that just makes sure that the on-off valve of the float is working internally. Go put it back on. Yeah, and that still looks good because it's 100% water. Got some fresh gas in it. I want to push that through, just make sure that everything coming out is clean. Sometimes a little remainder in the fuel line, you know. I'm just gonna let that set for a second. It looks a little better, huh? Actually splashes like gas too. Well, I didn't bother putting the rest of the air filter back on, but the housing is on. Make sure we're in run. Choke is on. Let's give her, see what we get. No, now the choke's on. Coughed. Let's try it with no choke. Good. We'll get something to plug in it. That worked out good, huh? I'm gonna pop the air cleaner back on it. We're gonna go put a load on it, and I just want to measure the output of the voltage, see if we're okay. After that, just give it a good bath, air up the tires. Yeah, that's a nice machine, huh? adjusted at night. I was putting some voltage out, but until it gets a demand, it won't kick up. So it's hard to see, but this tail, when it comes out, it'll get to a resonant frequency and it'll start bouncing real fast, and you kind of bounce back off of the dimension of the length of that, and it'll tell you what the RPMs are. We are a little on the fast side. I want to say we're probably at 3,800, 3,600 is where it should be under a load. 3,600 transfers to 60 hertz as far as frequency. So the motors, you want to set to that vibration. All right, slow it down just a little bit, because it may drop off with more of a load on it. You know, you start drawing 4,000 watts or so. We were probably drawing about 1,000 with the heat gun. I just don't want to go under on the other side of it. As long as you get the frequency fairly close. The voltage kind of is what the voltage is. You can't really adjust that, but you can adjust the frequency. A little bit of cleaning. We should be done. I got it cleaned up. It's one last thing I want to do though, is I want to go and adjust the valves. It sounded a little on the clacky side, and generally it's about 50 hours of use. It should get readjusted, and I think it goes to 150 after that. And I'm pretty sure that this has never been adjusted. And it should be between 2 and 4 thou. And we got to get the piston to top dead center on the compression stroke. Where'd it go? There it is. Here's the pull start. I gotta take the spark plug out and both rocking. Well, it feels a little on the tight side. I'm gonna get the spark plug out, and like I said, I'm gonna find top dead center with a screwdriver on the compression stroke, and then we'll adjust them. All right, so I'm going to go pull that so that both rockers are moving again. So we know that is not the compression stroke. And I'm just going to go shove this down in the plug hole. And I'm going to feel split dropping down. And right there is top dead center. That valve is actually on the tight side. Oh, maybe a little loose. But the exhaust valve is actually tight. And that's if you're gonna fail, you want to fail on the loose side of things, not the tight side of things. That'll cause you to burn a valve. So it's a good thing we checked. That has no play in it whatsoever. So it has a jam nut behind it, and then you turn the center for play. We'll go grab some wrenches and we'll get to going on that. Alright, so I got a wrench back there. Go crack that loose. This one that locks it down from turning. So you should be able to turn the center of it. We're going to go between the valve and the rocker. Right now I can't get that in there. Sometimes when you tighten them up, it changes, it affects them. How the jam nut takes the play out of the stud. So we may snug that down and redo it. Not much room to work there. It's actually pretty good. Again, I'd rather have it a little clacky than a little too tight. What it was, just gonna make sure that sinks down. Yeah, that had like no play in it whatsoever. That's good. Just should feel drag on it, you know. And a quick and dirty way of doing it is you should be able to grab the valve and be able to rock it. That one feels pretty good too. All right. Now I feel happy about it. That would have burned up a valve eventually. Sounds pretty good. Well guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. Just got to get a gas cap tomorrow and an oil filter, and this one should be complete. So that was good. An hour's work. Plus, you know, scoring it on the side of the road. Probably throw another hour at it for that. And it's probably got a value between 350 and 400, I would say. It depends on what time of the year. And it's a decent machine. Not a Chinese, not Chinesium. But with that, guys, I'm going to go sign off. I want to thank you all for kind of hanging out and do a little bit of wrenching with me and bringing stuff back to life. So until the next one, see you later. Bye.